Chapter 3. How you act. These are the mistakes included in Chapter 3. Starts from mistake number 19 to mistake number 42. And to introduce to you the chapter, let me read this. In the play As You Like It, William Shakespeare reminds us all the world's a stage and all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Success in the world of business depends on your ability to know your part and how to play it. It may sound as if I'm suggesting that you be phony or false, but that's not it at all. Just as actors and actresses are judged by how well they play their roles, we are judged by whether we understand the nuances of what it means to act professionally. It could be argued that the behaviors described in every chapter constitute how you act. This chapter is somewhat different in that it focuses on the subtle, stereotypical ways in which women behave that contribute to an overall impression of their being less competent than they really are. People do not know and judge us by our intentions. They know and judge us by our actions. Too many women mistakenly assume that they have to act like men to get ahead. These are often the same ones who fail to understand the rules of the playing, and that there are different rules for men and women. As I'll discuss shortly, the goal isn't to strive to be a poor imitation of a man, but rather to act as an adult woman, and not the nice little girl you were taught to be in childhood. Let me remind you that any one of the behaviors described in this book, taken alone would not be a deal buster, but put several of them together and they can divulge a woman's underlying naivety, need for approval, and lack of self-confidence. And the truth is, most of us engage in more than just one of these mistakes. Let's start with mistake 19. Difficulty transitioning from nice girl to winning woman. When Carol Frolinger and I wrote Nice Girls Just Don't Get It, we wanted to make it clear that the opposite of a nice girl isn't a bitch, it's a winning woman. The difference is that a nice girl acts in ways that are designed to make others like her, and a winning woman acts in ways that ensure her goals are met. By knowing what she wants, having clarity about where she's headed, and achieving both through high likability and emotional intelligence. The following chart illuminates the behaviors in which you must engage to make it a reality. The difficulty comes when you make a conscious decision to make the transition from being that nice little girl you were taught to be in childhood to being the adult woman you are now. You begin with the best of intentions, but are waylaid when you get resistance from those around you. Carol and I wrote, nice girls find that others will try to make them feel guilty, selfish, or uncaring when they try to change things up and put their needs first. Whereas the nice girl wants to change, other people want to maintain status quo because it works for them. Winning women look at resistance as a necessary part of building relationships. The problem for many women is in choosing to take the path of least resistance, thereby avoiding the kinds of intense discussions that can accompany change. Most forms of resistance can be overcome. That's the good news. It simply requires tenacity, regrouping, and employing a tactical approach to countering what at first seem like insurmountable obstacles. Let's take one last look to the winning woman wheel. This is manage expectations, craft meaningful messages, prepare for pushback, use and share your connections, live your values, evaluate the past, envision the future, and build relationships that work for you. Here goes the nice girl going to become the winning woman. For the coaching tips, first, if you get resistance, you're on the right track. It means you are asserting yourself and advocating for your needs. Depending on the situation, some measure of resistance is inevitable. Don't be discouraged by it, but rather use it to further your goals. Second, practice countering resistance in low-risk situations. Select situations that won't make a huge difference in your life as a place to begin to advocate for yourself. Transactional situations such as insisting on returning an item you purchased or returning a restaurant meal that wasn't prepared properly are ideal. You can then apply what you've learned when the stakes are higher. And third, use questions to get at the real reason for the resistance. It's not enough to know that people don't want you to change. You need to know why. When you encounter resistance, don't just take it at face value, but ask questions to clarify. From there, you can often move into negotiating a win-win outcome.